Hello, hello there, and welcome back for our last day of our 30 days of energy boosting tips for breast cancer survivors. Last day, unless you're signed up for the masterclass tomorrow. That, trust me, you want to be registered for. We are taking things to a whole other level, really pulling back the curtain on what I do every day to maintain my get up and go. And I'm going to be talking about 3 things that you can stop doing that are sucking you dry. So bear with me for a second because I want to invite you to think about yourself being a teapot. Yes, it's the Brit in me coming out. For those of you that didn't know, I actually grew up in the UK and moved to the US when I was 22. So it's been a while now. But I always go back to my tea, and tea is such a big part of my life. But I invite you to think about yourself as a teapot and everything that you do throughout your day that requires energy, focus, things that you're stressing about, everything that you do for everybody else is a teacup, right? And what are we doing all the time, right? Typically, as women in society, we are pouring from our teapot and giving to others, and we're taking care of others, and we're doing for others. And what happens to that level of tea in our teapot? It gets lower and lower and lower and lower. Well, what happens when it gets to the bottom? That's when we become sucked dry, drained, wiped out, like we're hitting a brick wall every minute of every day. Not only do we feel like that, but we begin to feel resentful of the people that we are taking care of, can even get angry and bitter. These are not unusual things. So the question becomes, how do we keep topping up the teapot so that we don't get to that point? Right? Well, the good news is, even if you are at that bottom level and you're sucked dry and you're drained and you just want to get some energy back, the good news is you can begin to implement these tips at any point in time. Pretty cool, right? There's no expiration date on this. And what tops us back up are these things that I've been talking about for this past month of October. So I just wanted to revisit these to remind you of some of the things that we've talked about, right? We've talked about the fact that there are 4 pillars that I specifically cover and talk about in my coaching practice that I believe have the biggest impact on our energy level, our health, emotionally, physically, and mentally, all of the above. So those pillars for me are food, what we eat, really important, how we manage our stress, reducing toxins around our home, and my overarching umbrella of self-care. So let's dive into what we've talked about in the past month and remind you of some of these things, because you may hear it this time and go, going to try that one today. So let's start out with food, right? It's probably, for me, it's one of the most important things. We all eat, right? And we're all eating multiple times a day. So what we eat and how we eat is crucially important to how we feel and our energy level. So things like making a smoothie, choosing organic produce. And yes, I've got my cheat sheet here today, so a lot of things to remember. So if you see me looking down, that's why. Making a weekly meal plan, having a cup of green tea in the afternoon. Make sure that you're staying hydrated and adding an extra veggie to your dinner or other meals throughout the day. These are all the things that we talked about. Do any of those sound difficult? No, they're all pretty easy, right? And then remember, it's not that you need to do all of these. Pick and choose. And maybe what you do is for the next month, you commit to saying, hey, I'm going to make a smoothie every day and see how I feel, right? Don't think that you have to do it all. You don't. You don't. Anything that you add in is a bonus. Anything. And it's going to help your energy levels. Now, what about stress? It's a big one. And so many of the survivors that I talked to experienced massive amounts of stress a year to 2 years prior to their diagnosis. I'm in that category. I did too. A year before my diagnosis, within 1 month, I lost my mom. My brother almost died the day after my mom's funeral. And 2 weeks after that, my husband was in a severe motorcycle accident. We didn't know for a couple of months if he was going to be able to keep his right arm. So, yeah, it was pretty stressful within that month, right? And it's that stress can be the catalyst for, and it's the reaction in the body. It's not the actual stress, it's how our body reacts to that stress that can cause the inflammation that feeds our cancer cells. So, what do we talk about, right, in the way of stress reduction? What are some tips that are going to help bring in that energy that you're looking for? Dancing like nobody's watching, taking a mindful moment. My favorite, Epsom salt baths. Amazing way of dealing with stress and replenishing the magnesium in your body. Going for a walk outside, taking a little breath and a breather and fresh air, right? Switching off electronics 2 hours before bed. Writing 3 things that you're grateful for at the end of your day. Taking that guilt-free nap. Guilt-free, really important here. Really, really important. Having a PJ and stay day. Ultimate indulgence. And it's amazing how it can boost your energy levels. Stretching your body the right way, not overstretching, just the right way. Reading a book, the right kind of book we talked about, right? Not something that's stressful or anxiety causing, but something that's light and easy to read, not too deep. And then going to bed early. We shared that just the other day. Okay, these are our stress things that we've talked about over the past month. And if, by the way, you downloaded the energy boosting calendar, if you didn't get that and would like it, all of these tips are on this calendar. So if you'd like it, just shoot me a DM and I'll make sure that you get that calendar to remind you of all of these things that you can be doing to boost your energy. And toxins was one of the other pillars that we've been talking about. Cleaning out your makeup drawer, not wearing shoes in the house, opening all the windows for 10 minutes each day, and staying away from toxic air fresheners, right? These toxins in our home often contain chronic fatigue causing ingredients. So if we can say goodbye to that, we're saying goodbye to those ingredients. Why are we not doing that? Right? Makes sense. Super easy. And what about self-care? Well, here's the deal. All of those things, every single one on that list that I just read off to you is an act of self-care. Self-care is not just the manis and the pedis and the massages and all the things that traditionally can be thought of as self-care. My definition of self-care is the conscious act that we take to promote our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. So all of those things we can agree, right, is a conscious act to boost our energy levels. What does that energy get you? Peace of mind, more joy in your life, not missing out on the major moments or the not so major moments, the special ones where the kids are being goofy and messing around and you've missed it because you've been in the bedroom sleeping. Maybe you get to make plans with friends and know confidently that you're going to be able to show up and not have to call at the last minute because you're so exhausted and can't make it again. Worrying, are they going to stop inviting me because I keep canceling? Maybe that energy is going to stop you being so short with everybody in your life, right? So that you can actually start enjoying your relationships again with your partner or your spouse or friends or family because you're not feeling so drained and sucked dry anymore. But the thing with self-care is you get to choose whether you participate or not. You get to choose. That's the cool thing. You may not know how to do it yet. Don't worry. That's where I come in. That's where I get to support you. Sharing my decades of doing this and the hurdles that I've had to overcome. Because, my friends, it is self-care that has allowed me to keep going, not just through my breast cancer and BRCA2 journey, through the loss of my entire family unit, my mom, my dad, and my younger brother, within a 5-year period, through my husband's accident, motorcycle accident, through 7 house moves in 8 years, through a recent tragic car accident where a family member has life-altering injuries, and I was able to support them for 7 months. How do I keep going? I'm not anything special. I don't have an S tattooed on my chest. I have a bunch of scars, but no S, right? So what enables me to keep going and keep bouncing back and keep having the energy to show up and serve you and my other clients? It's simple. It's self-care and my ability to prioritize it and make it my non-negotiable. And it is. It's a non-negotiable for me because the way that self-care looks can change on any given day. But I've shared with you 30 ways that you could be practicing self-care, and it's energy boosting self-care nonetheless, right? So that you too can start to fill up that teapot so that you don't have to feel sucked dry and drained anymore. And if you want to learn more about how self-care can impact you, your energy, your recovery, please reach out. Send me a DM. Happy to hop on the phone. I'm happy to chat. More than anything, I would love it if you haven't yet signed up for the masterclass tomorrow. As I'm recording this, it's October 29th. And October 30th, I am offering a free masterclass. Come hang out with me for 90 minutes, no more. Invest 90 minutes of your time in you. Hey, guess what? An act of self-care right there, just by signing up and showing up live. Show up live because we get an opportunity to chat. You have an opportunity to pick my brain, ask me all the questions, not be left wondering, but Karen, how? Right? I want you to know I can share all of the information in the world, but unless you know the secret to how to do it, how to really do it in your life and make this your new habit, it's just information. You've got a lot of that already, right? So you need a little bit of Coach Karen in your corner. And I invite you to do that tomorrow. So if you haven't yet registered for the masterclass, there are a few spots still available, not many. It's pretty popular, and I am so pumped and excited to spend this time with you guys tomorrow. So make sure, excuse me, I've been talking a lot over the past 30 days. Let's hope I'll be having some tea with some honey to make sure that my voice is okay for tomorrow. So make sure that you save your spot. There are just a few left, and I want to make sure that you are in that room and picking my brain and walking away knowing 3 things that you can stop doing. Already it sounds good, right? Things that you can stop doing. I am not adding to your plate. I am taking stuff off your plate to give you more energy, to get back your get up and go so that you can start to really create your best life yet. Because it's out there. You just have to go get it. Let me help you. Let me show you how. I would be honored to get to be on that journey with you. And yeah, I'll be doing a happy dance and celebrating with you every step of the way. Okay. So thank you so much for joining me. If you've been watching along over these 30 days of energy boosting tips, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's been an honor to be here and to be able to give you this gift during this October, which I know can be such a hard, triggering time for so many of us breast cancer survivors, myself included. And I wanted to do this month to kind of refocus our brain onto something positive, choosing self-care, right? Showing you how to choose self-care and choose yourself. And I've loved every second of it. So it doesn't have to be goodbye. I mean, if you want to learn more about my programs, my coaching, group coaching, my brand new VIP group coaching starting in January, please reach out, send me a message, DM me, hop on over to my website at karendelmaestro.com, or make sure you're hanging out with us for free in the Healthy Living After Breast Cancer Facebook community. Okay? Again, I'm your host, Karen Del Maestro, your self-care coach, breast cancer and BRCA2 thriver. And it has been such a joy to be here with you and spend this time with you over this month. And I truly hope, sincerely, that you have gained some incredible tips, super easy, simple, quick tips that you can take with you for the rest of your life. Okay. That's it for today, guys. Don't forget, sign up for the class tomorrow. I'll make sure the link is in the when you're seeing this video. And if you're watching the replay and it's past October 30th, hop on over to the website, Karen with an I, delmaestro.com, because I have a feeling this is going to be a masterclass that I'll be running again. So check out any future dates. Okay, that's it for now, guys. Have an amazing day. It's been an honor truly to be here with you, and look after yourself. Okay, choose to look after yourself. Okay, bye for now.